Bo, Steve Laws was interviewed by Andrew Gold. I confront the biggest racist. Bit of a mental thing to title as. And I thought we could talk about it because this is discourse that has spawned from this has been pretty mental. There has been a lot of discourse. So for those that don't know, if you've been living under a rock and you're new to TSOP, state politics, we interviewed Steve Laws. Steve Laws is obviously a big advocate for mass remigration. He has a straight down the line, England for the English. You're not English. You're not English. Big on, done. And so he was originally interviewed by Liam Tufts. Then we interviewed him, and then Andrew Gold has interviewed him. And it's been very interesting discourse. It's been really, really interesting discourse that's come out from it, and comparing all of the interviews as well. So I thought we'd talk about it and talk about what's come out from it, really, but more of a conversational segment today. Have you watched this? You watched it in its entirety?
I watched nearly all of it. I watched like 90% of it. I didn't watch the last few minutes, but yeah, basically watched it. Yeah.
What did you make of it?
Well, as always, we had Steve Laws on here, didn't we? And we gave him a fair crack, let him speak, and wasn't trying to attack him, not trying to gotcha him, not trying to corner him on the bloody Holocaust or whatever. And so, yeah, I thought it was Andrew Gold was doing a very, very sort of passive aggressive attempt to try and corner him and do gotchas and all that shit, try and paint him as a racist. Of course, there's that classic thing that Piers Morgan did with Fuentes, where he says, "Are you a racist?" The person just owns it, goes, "Yeah, whatever. Yeah, by your definition, I guess I am a racist." And then from that point on, it's like, "Well, you as a racist," It's like it's really old hat. It's really pathetic. I thought Steve came across absolutely fine, completely like a normal person, basically. The thing that I took away that was most sort of interesting, shocking to me, is that I always thought Andrew Gold was sort of a milquetoast adjacent sort of centre right type person. He revealed himself in this, as far as I'm concerned, to be something of an enemy. Just saying stuff like, "Oh, England's over. You're living in the past. Get over it. England is done. It's over." Is it, mate? Is it? Fuck that. And all that stuff, and just blithely, you'll be a demographic minority in your own ancestral homeland soon. What can you do? It's already. There's nothing you can do. Just deal with it. Just roll over and die. All that shit. All that shit. I'd expect from someone like Ash Sarkar or whatever. But no, I thought it was good. I thought it was very, very interesting. I thought Steve handled it really well. I mean, what do you think? What was your overall impression?
Yes, I watched it. I mean, I watched the entirety of the Liam Tufts one, and that was just an absolute clown show. I don't understand how that guy has an audience, quite frankly, with what kind of questions he asks. It's just it just infantilizes all of his guests. And so when I watched that, and obviously we've spoken to Steve, and then I watched this one as well, and the tone, it is what you said it is, right? It's this sort of passive aggressive. I'm going into this trying to get you. Absolutely everything is catered towards that now, and you actually know that because he starts by saying, "Hey, I've done something I've never decided to do before. I've included little boxes by the side of it, context boxes." It's like, right, oh, okay, cool. So you're doing something that you've never done before, and here's one of it. It's estimated that 22% of Nobel Prize winners were Jewish. I mean, this is like, what are you doing? Like fact checking people. Like what? I thought this was like, and you could see when he'd interviewed Steve, he'd gone back to edit it, and he was like, "This hasn't quite, this isn't quite the own that I wanted it to be. So I'm going to bolster my points now by doing this, by going here and adding these context boxes." And even this, like his pinned comment here. My family's been in the UK since pre-1900. Do you think I should be deported? Racists will hijack the comments. It's like, will they? I mean, you're a self-fulfilling prophecy by saying something like that, Andrew. Like, you're not going into it in good faith. You're literally saying, this is this is my preconceived outcome. This is what's going to happen. Racists will hijack the comments. And he says, it always happens with purity spirals, but do any of you who are with me about mass immigration, Islamism, and anti-whiteness also stand against the rhetoric that would deport blacks, Jews, and other races, ethnicities solely due to their blood? Where is your line in the sand? And he even says at the start, in this little bit, he's like, oh, please do, if you don't comment, please do comment now. Please do go down and comment. And it's like, he's doing everything he possibly can. It's really slimy, basically. It's really leftist tactics. It's really slimy. And as you said, the initial tone, everything he was doing, as well as all those other things, context boxes, preconceived outcome, all this, self-fulfilling prophecy. It's really, you are effectively a left-wing enemy, right? Like, this kind of dialogue is awful. Like, you're not doing yourself any favors, Andrew. As for Steve,
just make one quick point. One thing that you mentioned there in his description, should I, a Jew that has been here, family's been here since the 19th century, and it came up again and again and again in the interview. So you'd deport me, you'd deport my family, would you? It's like, and this is a broad point, and Steve Law said it, it's not personal, that this isn't about the Gold family.
Yeah.
This isn't about Andrew Gold. It's not about you, Andrew. There's something bigger at stake than the residency status of you. Right? The very heart and soul of England is in peril. It's not about you, bro. Okay. Anyway, carry on. Come on. I interrupted you.
No. Point well made. And so on how Steve handled himself, I mean, we've had him on. People actually criticized us for not asking him certain questions, the kind of questions which Andrew, was asking. And to all those people wondering why we didn't, it's not helpful to the discourse. The whole purpose of our interview with Steve, our conversation, it's not really an interview, it's just a conversation, was actually get to know the man. It's to actually understand him a bit more, where he stands on, things which is not normally. You can go to Andrew Gold to get his policies on stuff like that. Our conversation was more, who is Steve, right? Who is he as an individual? Why does he think the way he does? And then I think actually across all of the interviews, you probably get a really good concept of who he is by doing that. It doesn't help every interviewer just asking the same generic shit questions that's been asked time and time and time again. It's boring. You as a viewer doesn't want to watch that, and that's not how we wanted to handle it either. But I think he handled himself, well, like as well as could be. I mean, there's things which I, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, should have said this, or oh, should have said that. But Steve is just, again, like, he's just a normal bloke. No, he's not a politician. He's not trained. He's not media trained. So I think he handled himself pretty damn well, actually. And the commentary as well that you can see in the comments below this video, I think sort of bolsters that. Most people are just like, he's just the average working class Brit, to be honest. So I think
I had a quick look, and it seemed overwhelming support for Steve's position. I see lots and lots of comments saying, "Oh, I used to be an Andrew Gold fan, but this has disappointed me."
Yeah,
or like quite a few of that. I didn't see. I saw a little bit, but I didn't see a great deal. Really, considering, I didn't see a great deal of "Well done, Andrew, you got him. Smash the Nazis. Steve Laws is evil." I didn't see a very much of that, to be perfectly honest.
No, it really wasn't.
Like, hardly
it really
any.
Wasn't.
Really?
No, you're right. Yeah, you are right. And so, obviously, thoughts on the interview itself, but then what came after it? Have you seen anything that's come after this? All of this?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah. Between the Christmas and New Year, I've been very, very, very minimal on Twitter. I decided to sort of, actively. I jumped on for a few minutes here or there, but I actively decided to sort of take a break, like not look at the news like all the time and not go on Twitter much. However, still saw a fair bit of discourse and backlash and comment all over the place. Yeah, it's sort of what you expect largely. Yeah, all Browns, anyone that's ethnically non-English in any real way, trying to stab at Steve and trying to back up Andrew Gold, and all the Patriots just saying, yeah, no, Steve's right. Obviously, Steve's right. It's very, like I said before, there's certain topics and things come up where it's very, very revealing, like the flag thing. If you're an actual nationalist or a patriot in any way, or got the nativist interest at heart, you would not have any issue with people putting flags up. So Steve is very, very similar thing. You've got a few on the right that are essentially with him, that still have a little bit of criticism, but no, it's very, very polarizing and interesting to see where the battle lines are drawn, rhetorically speaking.
Yeah, it's been fascinating watch it sort of spiraling around. I found this one quite a comical post from Andrew because he quote tweeted Charlie Bentley Astor, because this whole conversation has been going mental. Like it's backwards and forwards, civic nationalism, ethno-nationalism, nationalism, blah, 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 racist this, racist that. It's been laughable at best, actually. I don't think it's been brilliant at all. And so this, I thought we'd just read out because it's interesting. And I think this actually reveals himself quite a lot as well. So he says, Charlie is one of the adults in the online right room right now. And she's right. Every message or comment I've had from creators and journalists who are already on the right or beyond wouldn't be platformed by TV has shown how risible Steve's ideas were. Sure, show them then. Like, where's the receipts? BS. Some explained that it was a relief to see quite how shallow and ridiculous his philosophy really is. And many now dismiss any kind of remigration because of how poisonous and inhuman his ideas came across. Meanwhile, as if social media would have...
It's ridiculous and poisonous. Says you?
Yeah.
No, says you, bro. No. Anyway, sorry, go on.
That's true. Meanwhile, as if social media were the real world, the screechiest of the online right predictably celebrated their ability to swarm and be psychopathically nasty from their mother's basements, left-wing tactics. And this is just, you might as well be an SJW at this point, Gold.
Yes,
this is just
sad.
laughable. It's really like, you do nothing for your argument, Andrew, bro. This is pathetic.
Yeah.
Worse still, many, not all of the Anon accounts have come across as so woke, screeching about victimhood, identity, and genocide, that it's now impossible for even initial skeptics to deny there is a growing far-right fringe who are as woke as Greta Thunberg, a point Sargon of Akkad perhaps inadvertently made in his balanced review. It's not the point he made at all, but all right, sure, whatever. As for me, I'm absolutely no victim. Yeah, we know. True, thousands of Anon accounts have written unthinkably cruel things to me. That's the online world, mate. That's boohoo. Everyone gets it.
Yeah, welcome to the internet. Is this your first day?
Yeah. So be it. Their words, and they're entitled to their opinion. I invited Steve on myself and face up to those consequences. What consequences? To all of those who were offended by my comments in the video, grow a pair and engage, as some of you do, like adults. As for going forward, my subscribers continue to grow at a much faster rate than his on all platforms, almost 1 million in 2 years on YouTube, and help spread my work to centrists who previously found me unpalatable and now will listen as I promote civic nationalism, judging people by the content of the character. In other words, this has been a colossal, irrecoverably loss for Ethnats. I hope the swarm was fun, some victory.
Wow.
And I thought this was interesting.
What a
because Andrew Gold is containment.
Yeah.
He is containment. Same as, I mean, I think constant and kissing is a form of containment. You know, this whole dialogue of from immigrants of civic nationalism. That's it. Woke right. Oh, you're ridiculous. Don't have identities. Blah blah blah. All this kind of nonsense. Mate, we didn't need identities because we were a homogenous country. Now we're starting to feel an identity because we've had it imposed upon us. But you guys, Andrew Gold and constant kissing, they are just a form of containment. And I replied to this, and I was just like, this is absurd. I was like, you lost the argument the moment you out and out stated that the Boris wave shouldn't be deported. You fundamentally don't believe in democracy. Your belief system is one of luxury afforded to you by far greater men than you that came before. Quite tragic that you can't see what you promote will lead to the downfall of the nation. If you're going purely by metrics, sure, you might have grown and won. But how many of those new followers and subscribers are fundamentally left-wing? As what you promote openly is liberalism, something that has led us to this disaster to begin with. I repeat again, you simply don't believe in democracy, Andrew. The British have never wanted mass immigration, and you simply retort, well, you've got it, deal with it. Brilliant. That's not an argument.
Yeah, fair comments all round. Just the idea again, the very concept of it's over.
I know, I can believe that.
Give in. Like, don't live in the past. Don't even hope to have your country back. Fuck that. Fuck that. No. I just don't think so. I think there will have to be a reckoning, one way or another. God knows what it'll actually look like or when it'll actually come. There'll be some sort of reckoning. We're not just going to simply allow ourselves to become 18% of the population and utterly dominated by foreign people that come here. No. So you make a good point in your reply there. I mean, this tweet from Andrew Gold, I haven't read it, I haven't seen it. What did CBA actually say?
Just nothing great. Just bashed people basically. Right. Lots of people are getting mad that celebrities of the online right aren't rushing to defend laws. The likes of Carl Benjamin are right to call out laws for being unrealistic and childish. Don't think he said childish, but okay. This doesn't mean they're being subversives against the project of remigration. That gives Andrew Gold more power than he has. He's a podcaster hosting debates. He's not the gatekeeper to policymakers and politicians. Defeating Gold isn't going to make a meaningful change to the state of the immigration system or prevent remigration. But laws being touted as a representative of the right will get in the way of remigration being taken seriously, but politicians and media barons. The real subversive in this interview is not Gold, but the members of the mostly anonymous online right rushing to claim a man who is acting childish and sketchy as some kind of figurehead of people who believe in England being principally for the English. Delivery matters as much as content, and he's not playing 5D chess. Laws is spouting off like a petulant child who wants to be playing a different game altogether. Saying he's playing 5D chess is in projection by people who need to justify his petulance and recklessness. People need to believe Law's conducting a grand plan because they need to believe his vulgarity serves a purpose. They need to believe he's not actually turned out to be a liability. Whilst in the online right echo chamber, everyone can screech based and pretend it's achieving something in the real world. Out in the real world, most people will read Gold as the reasonable one in this debate, even if they disagree with him on nationalism and race. The dignity and control with which Andrew speaks is more compelling than anything he says in that debate. Siding with Laws makes Gold look like a victim of when he could simply be an interviewer. It gives him power to be subversive. It is the anons supporting the childish behavior of Laws that are damaging the viability of remigration in the public eye, not the people on the right criticizing him.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't agree with absolutely everything she said there, but broadly speaking, I think that's right. She's right. I mean, I don't think Steve came across as like particularly petulant and childish, really. I mean, maybe a tiny bit. I mean, Andrew Gold certainly absolutely kept his cool, and there is a lot to be said for that. I'm also one, I like a little bit of passion sometimes. I like a human to be human. Not so like
I disagree.
Must answer the question, like sort of thing. So it's an interesting point she makes there. Not too bad. But no, anyway, Andrew Gold's response to it, the first one you read out, that came across as like a real bit of kind of bitchy cope. Like people living in their basements, It's like, yeah.
Well, I will say this. I actually disagree that Andrew kept his cool, to be honest.
Really?
He was like the commentary about just some of the like pointing out Steve twitching and stuff like this. It's that passive aggressive behavior that's not keeping you cool. You know, being passive aggressive, being like, oh, you're twitching, are you all right? Well, we can change the subject. Like, mate, shut up. If you want to change the subject, change the subject. If he wanted to change the subject, he would have changed the subject. And so no, he didn't. In my eyes, he actually didn't keep his cool. You know, there are ways where people let off their steam, and to me, Andrew Gold lets off his steam by being incredibly feminine, right? Being passive aggressive. That that's not keeping us cool, basically, in my eyes, anyway.
Mm.
And so, and I actually disagree with Charlie's commentary here on a whole, actually, pretty broadly, because the discourse is the purpose. And this is actually something which we spoke to Steve Laws about. You know, he is presenting the most extreme position possible, right? And he's line in the sand, that's it, done, duh. I mean, under his plan, you would be deported, right? Well, you got some Indian in you, boy.
No, I haven't.
But you're American, right?
For the record, that was Native American Indian, not subcontinent Indian. And two, it's almost certainly noise
Within
in the DNA. It was only like 1%. It's like for the record.
Point is, Steve has initiated the broader conversation now of ethno-nationalism, civic nationalism, and remigration, and what makes someone British, what makes someone English, what makes someone have the sort of hereditary ownership of this land. So actually, I mean, that is Steve's purpose, right? Broadly, if we're looking at it philosophically speaking, in terms of debating and conversations and politics, right?
He's the tip of the spear.
Yeah, exactly. And so to sit there and be like, well, he's not this and he's not that, it's like, Charlie, you wouldn't even be having the conversation if it wasn't for him. The conversation wouldn't even be happening. Remigration as a whole, it wouldn't even be a conversation. So actually, completely wrong. You know, whether you love him or hate him, and whether you agree or disagree, that, you know, whether you're a civic nationalist or an ethno-nationalist or just a nationalist or whatever, that conversation is happening now as a complete sole byproduct of Steve doing the rounds on these interviews. Some people looking to squash that conversation, but by even entertaining it, have opened the conversation up, which is incredibly beneficial.
I do think where Andrew Gold did the thing about, your legs twitching, that was absolute bitch behavior, in my opinion. Like again, like saying, oh, are you a virgin, or you live in your mum's basement, or stuff like that. It's like real, like it's pathetic. Pathetic. I noticed your legs twitching when we talk about the Jews. Oh yeah, it's real bottom of the barrel. Yeah, feminized bitch behavior. But I mean, neither of them lost their cool. That I saw. Neither of them sort of started shouting and screeching or anything like that. They both remained essentially completely civil. So yeah, the thing of the tone, I don't like tone policing. You probably guess the way I am. I'm not into tone policing. I would never ever tone police someone. I might just dismiss them out of hand, but I wouldn't do it via an attack on tone, like tone policing. Like, oh, I might agree with what you say, but I don't like the way you said it. Come on. Really? Yeah, that's bullshit. It's nearly always bullshit. It's that you hate what they're saying, but you haven't got a decent argument against it. So you start talking about the tone of it. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Steve Laws will do more media appearances, and I hope it, one of the main things I hope is that it becomes more clear and clear to people that Steve himself knows, as he said on this on TSOP right here on State of Politics, that he knows it's unrealistic to insist on 100% remigration. He knows that. But that's the tactic, or the strategy, rather. It's more of a strategy, isn't it, really? Part of the art of the deal, or whatever you want to call it, that you ask for or insist on way more than you know you're going to get, than it's possible to get. That strengthens your hand. That means what you ultimately end up with will probably almost certainly be better, be increased. Again, however you want to say it. So you shoot for the sun and you hit the moon, or I think you said something like that. One of those idioms. Yeah. So the idea when people say Steve is completely insane because it's just simply not possible to do it, kind of missing the point. They've missed the point, like the meta point of it. You sort of fail to understand the strategy a bit.
Something
Maybe
which he freely admits as well.
Yeah, right.
Like
He just said it, didn't he,
anyone who
on
listens
here?
to him.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, interesting, and yeah, I'll be intrigued to see what comes next from this, the discourse. But it's definitely exposed a lot of subversives and what I would consider out and out enemies. Quite frankly, I mean, we could spend probably a good hour, 2 hours dissecting Andrew Gold's responses to certain things. So we're not going to, obviously. I'm not doing that. But point is, it's definitely exposed a lot, and yeah, it was interesting to watch.
Yeah. No, anyone who says you can't have your country back, stop living in the past, you're mad. Yeah, you're on the other side of the aisle to me. Yeah, if and when it comes to it, we'll probably be on different sides.